Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Giradhar Shiva Sadigaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today I'm going to read from the Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. As we're approaching the Guru Purnima, it is important to understand the position of the spiritual master, the Guru. And the first chapter in the Adi Lila of the Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita is dedicated to describing the position of the Guru, the spiritual master, as it is essential within our Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. It is the first subject matter that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami deals with in this Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Besides describing the position of Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu, Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, and Shivas, the Panchatattva, and describing the importance of the Teen Murti, the three principal deities of Vrindavan, and the corresponding Diksha Mantra, we call the Gopal Mantra, 18-syllable Gopal Mantra, and the importance of that mantra. He then describes the importance of the spiritual master. We'll start with text 56, Adi Lila, chapter 1. A person interested in transcendental knowledge must therefore always, directly and indirectly, inquire about it to know the all-pervading truth. The Vedanta Sutra begins with the Tattva Brahma Jigas. Now in this human form of life, what is the essential duty of mankind? To inquire, to try to understand. We're not simply just animals to eat and sleep, mate and defend. We're elevated in the human form of life with the power of inquiry and the brain to understand the nature of truth. So it is stated now in the human form of life, it is the duty of mankind to inquire about the nature of that supreme truth. And that inquiry must be directed towards one who knows. Tadviti pranipatina pariprashnina sevaya. So, one who knows, that is in reference to the spiritual master, the Guru, is one who knows. He has that knowledge which is realized and has the power to give that information in such a way that it can open up the heart of the disciple. So the first thing is to approach a spiritual master and inquire from him submissively. Krishna describes this in Bhagavad Gita. One must render service unto him and please him in such a way that he is willing to reveal to the aspiring devotee the subject matter of Krishna Tattva. It is not so easily had. This transcendental knowledge is actually Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. It is the topmost knowledge is very confidential, Raja Guhyam. It is confidential. Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu has opened it up to the world, but still there's a process by which one approaches that truth. And it begins with that same instruction of Krishna that one must approach a spiritual master. It is said, Adau Guru Pada Ashaya. Once one has awakened faith in the process of Krishna consciousness, then one must approach a spiritual master and inquire from him submissively. Adau Guru Pada Ashaya. Taking shelter, Pada Ashaya, means taking shelter at the feet of the spiritual master, humbly rendering service, inquiring from him, so that one may understand the truth. So, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, text 57, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes from the Krishna Karanamrta of Vilvamangal Thakur. As this book was a very dear book to Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu, and it describes the full nature of Krishna Tattva. It begins, all glories to Chintamani, along with my initiating spiritual master, Somagiri. All glories to my instructing spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who wears peacock feathers in his crown, under the shade of whose lotus feet they're like desire trees. There Jai Shri Radharani enjoys the transcendental mellow of an eternal consort. The absolute truth ultimately leads us to the service of Shri Radha. Jai Shri Radharani, who enjoys transcendental mellows as the eternal consort of Krishna. Jai Shri Radhesham. This verse, Prabhupada writes in his purport, is from the Krishna Karanamrta, which was written by a great Vaishnava sannyasi named Vilvamangal Thakur, who is also known as Leela Shuka, he who described the Leelas of the Lord through his Krishna Karanamrta. He intensely desired to enter into the spiritual pastimes of the Lord, and he lived at Vrindavan for 700 years in the vicinity of Brahmakund, a still existing bathing tank in Vrindavan. The history of Vilvamangal Thakur is given in a book called Sri Ballabha Digvijaya. He appeared in the 8th century of the Shaka era in the province of Dravida and was the chief disciple of Vishnu Swami. In a list of temples and monasteries kept in the Shankaracharya's monastery in Dwarka, Vilvamangal is mentioned as the founder of the Dwarkadish temple there. He entrusted the service of his deity to Hari Brahmachari, a disciple of Vallabha Bhatt. Vilvamangal Thakur actually entered into the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna. That is the position of a siddha, a great devotee. Even while living within this world, they can enter into the pastimes of the Lord. This was the extraordinary accomplishment of Vilvamangal. And he recorded that experience. What he experienced, he recorded in his own transcendental book, known as Krishna Karanamrta. And for that reason, it was very dear to Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu. The experiences of the siddha in realizing the eternal reality of divine service to Radha and Krishna. In the beginning of that book, he has offered his obeisances to his different gurus, and it is to be noted that he has adored them all equally. So this is the first point. There are 3 distinct categories of guru. The Vartma Pradakshaka is considered the first of all gurus because he points the way, awakens our faith by showing us. That may be through the receiving of a book or some kind of transmission of information by which faith awakens within our heart. Yes, I am a devotee of Krishna. I should be engaging in Krishna's service. That begins somewhere as we're wandering through this samsara loka, this material existence. We come across someone who awakens within us the faith that our actual position is one of eternal service to Krishna. Jiver Swarpaya Krishna Nityadas. Somehow that awakens within us. And the interesting thing here, the Vartma Pradakshaka Guru, is Chintamani. And who is Chintamani? The interesting thing to note is she was a prostitute who Vilvamangal used to visit. He became very attached to her. But she was also a devotee of Krishna. Prabhupada describes that even in ancient times, the prostitutes were devotees of Krishna. So by occupation, she was prostitute, but in heart, she was devotee of Krishna. She saw, Vilvamangal, you're a sannyasi Thakur. You're coming to me with such strong attachment. There's stories about how that attachment grew and grew and what trouble he would do to get to see Chintamani. And one day she just said, you should place that attachment on Krishna. And something went off into his mind, his consciousness. Yes, this is all misplaced. It should be directed towards service to Krishna. So although Chintamani was a prostitute, she is his first guru, Vartma Pradakshika. She points the way. She awakened that faith in Vilvamangal Thakur that you are a devotee of Krishna. Why are you keeping so much attachment for me? You should place that attachment on the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. And so at that moment, he realized that's what I should be doing. That was instruction. Whenever good instructions come to us, we should think Krishna is instructing me. Whoever speaks that instruction, they are the agent of Krishna within this world to awaken our faith in him. Therefore, it says, Sakshadaritvinasamasta Shastra, that the spiritual master, whatever category, and that's the point being made here, Vartma Pradakshika, even on that level, no matter what her occupation was, she was the first guru to him, who awakened within his heart that knowledge by which he took to the path of pure devotional service. And as soon as he heard that, he began his journey. He went to Vrindavan. Prabhupada says here, he lived there for 700 years. So immediately he thought, yes, I should go to Vrindavan. And then while living in Vrindavan, he gained that experience. We'll continue with that. But in the beginning of that book, he has offered his obeisances to his different gurus. And it is to be noted that he has adored them all equally. The understanding is that one should never find fault, no matter what it may appear within this material world that the guru is doing or something like that. That is not the proper mentality. The proper mentality is, this is the person who has awakened faith within me. Therefore, I must honor him. That is the beginning of our devotional service. We're taught by Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu from the very beginning that humility is the key to our spiritual advancement. Humility means becoming free of criticism. We are not to criticize, especially a Vaishnava, and especially a Vaishnava who has pointed our way back home, back to Godhead. Because we would be such a fool to then, after receiving proper instruction, commit the Vaishnava aparad, which prohibits us from experiencing that transcendental reality. Chunadapi sunich chanar, becoming humbler than the blade of grass, Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu said. That is the position of one who wants to advance in spiritual life, to become humble, to give honor to all. And what to speak of those Vaishnavas who have assisted us along the path. To honor the Vaishnava Guru, beginning with the Vartma Pradakshika Guru. The first spiritual master mentioned here is Chintamani, who is one of his instructing spiritual masters, because she first showed him the spiritual path. Chintamani was a prostitute, with whom Vilvamangal was intimate earlier in his life. She gave him the inspiration to begin on the path of devotional service, And because she convinced him to give up material existence to try for perfection by loving Krishna, he has first offered his respects to her. She who directed me on the path of Krishna consciousness. Although he was intimate with her, she became the guru because she gave the proper direction. Next, he offers his respects to his initiating spiritual master, Somagiri. That is the Diksha Guru, first Guru, Vartma Pradakshika, who points out the way. Diksha is, now we take seriously this process of Krishna consciousness because I have been shown the way, and now I must make the connection by which I can actually achieve my spiritual perfection. Diksha Guru means he who gives the Diksha mantra. The importance of Diksha mantra may be misunderstood. What is the importance of initiation? We can all chant Hare Krishna. Again, it goes back to humility. First of all, yes, we can all, that is a gift of Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu. Yeah, everyone can chant. But there's a distinction there for one who has received the Diksha mantra from his Diksha Guru. We were mentioning in the very beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita that the importance of the Teen Murti, the three principal deities, are described within Vrindavan, Madan Mohan, Govindaji, and Gopinath. And they are representative of the mantra, which is called Gopal mantra. Krishna, Govinda, and Gopijana Vallabha. We receive that mantra from the Diksha Guru at the time of initiation, along with the Mahamantra, because that mantra, which is specific to our Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, gives a proper mental conception of Krishna in accordance with our divine lineage, the Gaudiya lineage. Different people may have, and different lineages may have different concepts of Krishna. That is one thing. So everyone can chant Hare Krishna, but their concept of Krishna may differ. But Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu instructs us to focus on Krishna. Therefore, the Diksha mantra, or the 18-syllable Gopal mantra, is a mantra by which we conceptualize Krishna in three ways. Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopijana Vallabha. That is important. And to receive instructions from the spiritual master about that mantra, we need the instructions that come first. We receive the mantra, then we must get the instructions by which we can actually conceive of the reality of that mantra while we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Therefore, first, Vartma Pradakshika points the way, faith. Take Diksha, you get the mantra. Now we have to get instruction. He first offers his respects to Chintamani, who awakened faith within him. Then he offers his respects to his initiating spiritual master, who gave him the mantra, Somagiri. And then to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is also considered his instructing spiritual master. In other words, Sakshadari Tvainasamasta Shastri. They're all representatives of Krishna. And the Siksha Guru gives us enhanced instructions about how to achieve that spiritual goal. He explicitly mentions Bhagavan, Krishna, who has peacock feather on his crown, Lord of Vrindavan, Krishna the cowherd boy. He used to come to Vilvamangal and talk with him and supply milk to him. Vilvamangal was such a renunciate. He was absorbed in his daily sadhana, and this cowherd boy came to him and said, "Oh, you're fasting. No one goes hungry in my abode. Here, I'm bringing you milk. So Krishna directly. And so Krishna used to supply milk, but also gave him the direction by which he could achieve his spiritual perfection. In his adoration of Krishna, he states that Jai Shri, the goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani, takes shelter in the shade of his lotus feet to enjoy the transcendental ras of nuptial love, the highest expression of love. The complete treatise, Krishna Karanamrta, is dedicated to the transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. It is a book to be read and understood by the most elevated devotees of Sri Krishna. As we said earlier, was very dear to Sri Chaitanya MahaPrabhu. But the instruction we want to take here, because of placing our emphasis on the nature of Guru, is that those who assist us on the path to going back home, back to Godhead, they're always to be honored, always respected. They are agents of Krishna who have come into our life to awaken within us the desire and the understanding of who we are and how to achieve that spiritual perfection. Therefore, we have to glorify all our Gurudevs on this Guru Purnima, and we say, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Gurudev, all glories to all my Gurus and all who have instructed me and assisted me in achieving my own spiritual perfection. Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shah.